Hovhannes, thank you so much for joining us today. We're
Thanks
here
a lot.
at EVN Media Fest 2022. We just wrapped up our panel discussion on startup culture and what it means to disrupt the sector. You're uniquely qualified to comment on what startups are involving themselves with today because your company, Groksmith, is sort of a startup agency. You guys craft ideas into startups. What do you see sort of in the space today? What are some areas that are really hot right now for the startup industry?
Yeah, so thanks for having me here, first of all. And as we already talked about, I think there are a couple of spaces that are quite hot right now, and it's everything related to remote work and remote life. Especially after the COVID, the patterns that people tend to work in are changed. And the remote work is de facto a standard for a lot of companies nowadays. Though, as I said, I believe that this is not the future. Future is not only remote. A lot of things people can do only when they communicate face to face. For example, if you take education, it's just quite hard to educate people, especially young people and kids, through your TV or like computer screen. It's quite hard. It's quite important for them to be in communication and interaction with the teachers. So this is just one example of area that is not possible to transform into absolutely remote kind of interaction. So, and the second thing that is quite important right now is this disruption of finance and disruption of banking ecosystem, and cryptocurrencies and possibilities the opportunities that they open for the people who wants to manage their finance cross-border. So with a lot of expats who came from Russia recently to Armenia, you can see that the people who had kind of cryptocurrencies, who kept their money in cryptocurrencies, it's quite easy for them to change the money to the local currency and use it here. And for the people who had bank accounts in Russia, it's quite hard to get the money from the bank. So this is just one example of how tech and disruptive technology can change our lives, and this is quite hot topics right now.
Hovhannes, when people talk about crypto, often the media attention is just on the price fluctuation from day to day. It goes up 20% in a week and then it crashes 30% the next week. What is a more practical impact on average people's lives that you think crypto might have in the coming decade, let's say?
Yeah, when we talk about the volatility of the crypto market, we should not forget about the fact that the crypto market is still in very early stage of development, and it's very new, and it has not gotten to our lives. Not too many people use it on an everyday basis. So it affects a lot volatility of the market, and also it reacts to things very fast. The traditional markets do not react that fast to events, to news, to everything that happens in the market. So this is a normal thing. And when we think about cryptocurrencies, we should better think about not the daily usage of the cryptocurrencies that you can do today, but the long-term benefits and long-term value that it brings with itself.
Yeah. And Hovhannes, my last question. You see a lot of startups in your line of work. What are some patterns you've noticed of the startups that manage to make it and succeed? Are there visible startups that other entrepreneurs can look at and use to increase their chances of being successful?
Yeah, it's quite hard to generalize here, but I would put accent on two things, two mistakes that a lot of startup founders do, and if you avoid that mistakes, there's a big chance of success. So first of all, in a lot of cases, frequently the startup founders are tech people, are engineers, so it's very easy for them to focus on engineering, on building things, and it's quite hard on the other hand for them to focus on validating their ideas, validating their assumptions, and understanding that it's only assumption, and you have to check, you have to be syncing with the real world, with the market, with the people who are going to use your product. So this is the first mistake that a lot of people do. They build products that no one wants to use, and they solve problems that do not exist in reality. And the second thing is understanding of the level of commitment needed to manifest your vision, to manifest your ideas into real physical world. In a lot of cases, people think that it's an easy thing to build a startup, but it's a tough way, and it requires a focus, like 100% focus, and all your forces to focus on just one thing, to building your company, because you face with not knowing what is going to work yet, and a lot of uncertainty, and it's quite stressful. So you have to be focused and you have to be committed.
Yeah. Hovhannes, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks a lot.